I need to get a stabilizer. Ah! It's like a sheet of ice here. Jeez. Be careful. So I was recording, or I thought I was recording, and it wasn't recording, so now I'm going to start my story over again. I was talking about yesterday about how we've been talking about Crasher getting a car so he can chauffeur the kids around and do his own hobbies. So he found a car he likes. Somebody actually picked up and left their phone number in the ad. So we're going Saturday after work all the way out to Crystal Lake. It's like over an hour away, to go test drive this car. So that is super exciting because this car is really nice. Like, it's worth how much the guy's asking for. Would you say, Crasher, that it is?
Yeah.
Crasher's in a bad mood today because he has to drive me to work and then come back to my work. So yeah, 2004 Chevy Malibu hatchback, which something weird about, there's a lot of weird things about Crasher, but he loves hatchbacks. He will not shut up about it. Camaros and hatchbacks. He's all about that life. So we're gonna go test drive that. He did email 2 other people on 2 other cars. One was a stick shift because we both want to learn how to drive stick. Well, he knows how to drive stick. I don't. We did have a stick one time for 2 months and it got totaled because some guy ran a red light. Yeah, while Crasher was turning left and T-boned him. Oh, you spun around. Okay. So yeah, it got totaled because the whole wheel well was damaged and the tire and everything. So
yeah, it was not drivable after that.
Yeah. But yeah, so we kind of want another stick because we do want. Dylan is gonna be learning how to drive in the next year and a half. So we want him to learn how to drive stick as well. The kid is all like, I'm gonna get my license. And I was like, you can't even graduate high school without your license in the city now. And he's like, yes, I can. And I'm like, no, you can't, because my nephew, he graduated in 2020, and he had to go the day before graduation to go get his license because they weren't gonna give him his diploma if he didn't. And they weren't gonna let him walk on stage, which it was weird. Did they actually walk on stage or did they just walk across the field? It was in 2020. So Dylan has to learn how. He is a pretty good driver. I'm not gonna front, guys. I have been taking my kids driving since they were 8. You could go to the lakefront and drive in the parking lots on the lakefront. That's what we do. Or we go to a big empty parking lot, and as soon as they could reach the wheels, which Dylan is a tall kid, he was able to reach the wheels at 8. Yeah. Yeah. 8 or 9-ish. Yeah. So before that, though, they would sit on Crasher's lap and control the car. And so we have been trying to get them comfortable with driving at a very early age. It is a very important skill. Driving, swimming, bike riding. What are our other things that are... Abby is a weak swimmer, but she can... If she was put in a dangerous situation, she could get herself out of it. Oh, fighting. They got to learn how to fight. Those are the skills that we require them to learn. So Dylan is an excellent swimmer. They're both... Huh?
Music, if you didn't say that.
Oh yeah, and music wasn't a requirement until recently because we couldn't afford it.
No, I know, but those are the things we want them to learn.
Yeah, so we want them to learn music as well. Dylan does drums, Abby does piano, and she does vocals. Crasher is getting a guitar for his birthday. Crasher used to play piano when he was a kid, and then in like high school and as a teenager, he was fucking around with the guitar. Fricking around with the guitar. I can't swear, right?
Yeah.
He was messing around with the guitar, and
Yeah, a handful of songs, but I didn't really
Yeah,
know how to actually play.
he didn't know how to actually play. He was like mimicking like power chords from Green Day and stuff like that. Like, you know, those early 2000s. Well, Green Day was like a 90s band, but like Blink-182, stuff like that, you know. So he wants to actually learn how to play guitar. He has been messing around on Abby's piano right now. But yeah. He had like a major car accident a couple years ago. He just had surgery because of that major car accident. And now he's like wanting to, because he could tell already he can live a little bit more of his life instead, because he was like crippled. So he couldn't walk right. He has to walk with a cane. But he wants to get back into his old hobbies like stargazing, camping, hiking.
Hopefully I can skateboard it, like once I get my back muscles.
Oh yeah,
back up or whatever,
skateboarding.
but I
That was
can't-
your biggest hobby.
I can't jump around and like, I can't jolt my back right now.
I mean, I think you could just ride it and not like do tricks like ollies
Yeah,
and stuff.
I at least want to be able to just ollie, right?
Yeah.
So that I can, just to ride it around, like, you need to be able to do that to jump curbs and stuff.
You need to start going to the pool with Abby because it'll strengthen your back muscles for one, and for two, she needs to work on her swimming.
That's a good idea.
Family swim is on Saturdays from 1:15 to 3:30. Anyway, and Monday night and Friday night. So we were trying to get Dylan into lifeguard training, but with his basketball schedule and his drum schedule, we can't work that out. Dylan is a really strong swimmer, though. He was weak on the bicycling, but once he started biking himself to his drum lessons, he became a really strong bicyclist. He lacks the motivation to practice drums, so that's one thing I would. What's the other? And fighting too. Neither one of these two want to learn how to fight. I'm like, you all are growing up in the city of Chicago. You got crazies everywhere. You need to learn how to hold your own. Don't be getting messed with. And Dylan is stronger than he realizes. And yeah, you know how to throw punch. You need to know how to throw a punch. You need to know how to size up your opponent. You know. They do have, should I say that? They carry, like, we taught them how to use knives. Abby carries a knife on her. Dylan doesn't because he's like, no knife. He's like a pacifist, which is fine. I don't care if you're a pacifist and you don't want to fight, but if somebody steps to you, you better know how to handle yourself. So that's why we told them, you got to learn the basics. You got to learn how to use mace. You got to learn how to open up a knife quick. And you got to learn how to use, my uncle just got me a taser. It's like a flashlight taser. So I'm going to purchase those for the kids and my sisters. One of my sisters is Bart. Well, no, my uncle got me. Did he get 4 or 5? He didn't get Mary one. He got Lynn and Gwen and Jenna.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we need to get the kids those.
Taser's good to have, and the pepper spray is really good to have.
Well, the pepper spray I get at Dick's.
Always discourage anybody from knife fighting. It's not good.
Well, with Abby, she's a little girl.
But if you don't know how to fight with a knife, then you're going to end up hurting yourself or getting your...
No, I agree. Well, that's why I don't argue with Dylan when he's like, I don't want to carry my knife. He has a knife and a multi-tool. He carries his multi-tool with him, especially when he's biking. So, like, I don't bust his chops about carrying his knife with him. Abby carries her knife with her because she practices with it, and hers is only like a desperate, dire situation, like somebody trying to grab her.
But I'd rather, exactly, I mean, I'd rather their first choice be pepper spray or this taser situation that you got going on.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. And yeah, we got to go buy a few more of those.
And they do know how to throw punches. They do know that. We taught them that. And we've explained to them, like,
maybe there's a pepper spray taser or taser that has like a spot.
that seems like it's too complicated, and you would either tase yourself or pepper yourself.
No, you do one or the other. You got to make the choice of one or the other, but at least then you have them both accessible in one tool.
Whatever, I meant to get them for Christmas, but we gotta go to Dick's and get them pepper spray, because I gave Lynn and Jenna our pepper sprays. So, and then you have yours when you're doing your roaming around town.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything. So, yeah, hiking, when you're doing your hiking. But yeah, so
Biking, whatever.
we're gonna get them pepper spray, we're gonna get them tasers, because I agree with Crasher, like, knives are the last resort. But again, we live in Chicago. It's the murder capital of the world. So, you know, again, knock on wood, as my boss does, knock on wood. I love it. He's such a goober. But you need to hold your own. You need to protect yourself. And make sure you don't get kidnapped. Because I ain't playing around, no kidnapping. So, ain't nobody got time for that, because I will kill a mofo for stealing my babies. I'm not worried about Dylan getting kidnapped. He's like a solid brick. Solid. He's a solid guy. But Abby, she's super strong. She does gymnastics. She's got gymnastics legs and arms. Like, she's got cuts, okay?
She's fit, right?
Yeah, she's fit,
She's
so
athletic or whatever, but
she's
still a small person.
she's still tiny. She's 11 years old. And honestly, even with her, she's very aware of her surroundings. Like, Abby's like, oh, butterfly most of the time. But when she's one time...
She's by herself.
Yeah, if she's by herself,
then
she's
her
alert.
Focus immediately goes to, I gotta pay attention to what's going on around me.
Yeah, she doesn't. We've told him, do not walk around with your cell phones out. Do not walk around with headphones in your ears. You need to be aware of your surroundings, listening. I'd rather her be paranoid than not be.
I agree.
So yeah. So circle back around to the car. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you get this car. Man, I hate when people turn their turn signal on last minute. Ooh, I'm about to turn. Let me turn my turn signal on instead of notifying you on. Wow, wow. That was bold. In a glass truck. Bold AF. I don't know. I think we're done chatting. Oh, Abby needs to work on her swimming. It's bicycling, swimming, fighting, driving. Abby loves driving. We got Abby a little Power Wheels frozen Jeep for her 5th birthday. Her 5th birthday landed on Easter, and Easter's like one of her favorite holidays. And I'm like, dude, this holiday is whack. But she loves it because she's my spring baby. Anyways, her 5th birthday was on Easter, and we couldn't have like a party for her because we had to go to everybody's house for Easter. So we got her this sweet ass Jeep Powered Wheel. And because she, you know, little girls nowadays, Frozen, Taylor Swift, that's what they're all about. Since toddlers, all right. So, she would drive that thing, man. She would like drift in it and like go crazy, do donuts. Like, she knew how to like, she would back up like this, you know, like her dad. Like, oh, I'm turning all the way around. She could parallel park that thing. She was awesome on it. So I'm not worried about Abby driving. She's got that like innate driving abilities. And Dylan too. He's a good driver. He's very cautious, which is good. Sorry, babe. So yeah. So, anyways, Dylan needs to learn how to drive. So we're hoping this is a stick, so he can learn automatic on the van I have, and then stick with Crasher's little car so that he is a well-rounded driver, because I am not a well-rounded driver because I do not know how to drive stick. So, alright, are we done talking about how we're crazy parents? Letting our kids fuck around with knives? Mess around with knives?
Sure.
Alright, I will get back to you later. Driving home. Captain's log. What is it?
Captain's log start date.
Captain's log star date.
2023-0202.
Oh, your birthday's in 20 days. So, Dylan, oh, wait, he didn't have drums today. He had that movie. He had to volunteer for a movie thing at school, and he got sick. I'm starting to think this is BS. But he called Crash and had him come pick him up from school early. And these teachers are just letting this shit get away because, because of the COVIDs, the vids. And then when Abby got home from school, she had a headache. So she and her piano teacher canceled because he's sick. So Abby did not go to piano and she did not go to floor hockey, and Dylan did not go. He was supposed to go to drums. I forgot. Crasher rescheduled it yesterday.
Because he was supposed to work a school event of a movie night at their school, which didn't happen with him
Being sick.
falling sick.
And tomorrow they don't have any
So
school.
he missed the drum lesson and the movie night. It's not like I could be like, oh, drum lesson's back on.
Look, I'm sick of this shit. Like, I feel like this is getting to be ridiculous. With the coming home early, saying he's sick and stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's too much.
what were you saying?
If you got a little bit of a scratchy throat or something halfway through the day, you can make it through the day, and especially on the eve of a 3-day weekend here, like,
Yeah, he could have done his volunteer.
seriously.
Like, this is bullcrap.
Well, it would have been fun for that part anyway.
He has to
F around with
volunteer
his
to help
friends or
pay
whatever.
for he's in 8th grade and they're going on a class trip to DC this year. And he doesn't want to go, and I am forcing him to go because that's not happening. You not going on your 8th grade class trip. Like, it's not a thing. So, yeah. So, just frustrated. But nothing got done, so Crasher drove me to work for no freaking reason. But we need a couch. Our couch broke. So we have no couch in our living room. And my mom said she would buy us something up to $300. So the plan is to get 2 futons because we're in college. And
Our kids have sleepovers all the time, and when they have sleepovers, they all sleep in a big pile in the living room. So not having couches is terrible for our situation right now.
yeah, so we need 2 futons would be good though. I'm not like, look, I bought a couch and it broke within a year, and I didn't care about the couch breaking and having to throw it out because having kids, like, they wreck them. This is the first time I bought a new couch since like I was like 20, because I'm like, I'm not buying a couch. The kids wipe their boogers on them and go to the bathroom on them and puke on them. There's no point. No, don't invest in a couch. And then I was like, oh, my kids are older. I'm gonna invest in a couch.
Not with little kids, right?
Yeah.
Especially with all the diapers and all that.
Yeah, so now I'm all like, F it, we're going back to the old way of not investing a ton of money into these stinking couches that just get ruined.
Yep. But yeah,
So.
I think the futons will work out great for the kids. They will like that. Be able to, we won't have to worry about them getting messed up since they're cheap.
Yeah. If they break a $150 futon, I'll just be like, oh, well, it is what it is. But Dylan's going to get a talking to when I get home, because whenever he called me to see if he puts tinfoil on the pan for the taquitos.
I mean, he did legit seem like he was sick earlier, and he was
Or was he hamming it up?
I don't know. I mean, I just don't think that Dylan is this advanced liar.
Do you remember 6th grade?
And would lie about that too. I don't know, maybe.
Dylan is not a liar. 90% of the time.
Right. I just don't think that he'd be trying to fake it like that, like that he would have been able to. I don't know. Who knows though, because I definitely faked sick a whole bunch as a kid.
This is all Wobblytons. Oh, we're about to go over a speed bump. Anyways, my day at work was good. I got Taco Bell for dinner. And I stayed within my points. I got chicken tacos and black beans. Black beans is 0 points. So I left my lunch for lunch tomorrow because I am not turning down Taco Bell. That's just not a thing. Alright, well, we're home. And like I said, the kids are off of school tomorrow. So I'll just be making my lunch and doing the dishes in the morning and whatnots. And am I waking them up at 7 or 9?
Them not check a nap so that they could go to bed at the regular time. So I don't know. We'll see how soon they go, what time they go to bed.
I'll report back to you tomorrow. Good night, my friends.